Hey folks, it's Mark Murphy with TravelTube.com, and I've got a few things to cover this week because there's a lot going on. So first up, we're going to cover Pajama Gate. Pretty interesting story out of Tampa Airport. If you've probably heard about it, I'll set the record straight. You might want to think about returning your SpongeBob SquarePants pajamas. Just saying. Also, Vegas. Las Vegas continues to feel the impact of fewer and fewer tourists. And you ask yourself, what could possibly be the reason? Now, if you ask a dumb journalist that's got TDS, it'll be like, it's Trump's fault. He did the tariffs, and it's why it's just destroying travel. Yeah, I'll actually set the record straight on that. Iran, what's going on with that? We got a war going on with Iran right now. How's that going to impact travel? Obviously in the region, but do you need to worry about it if you're traveling outside the region? And I'm going to get into a viral video that's being praised as a genius travel idea. Now, somebody's been traveling quite a bit and talks about travel and does a lot of interviews. And I don't know, it's quite genius, but maybe it's a reflection on how dumb some people are or how little common sense there might be out there. I don't know. I'll cover that. And then I'll touch on river cruising and why it's booming and give you my take on river cruising. So let's just get started. So Tampa has a new airport policy. You probably saw the announcement that no longer can you wear PJs if you're traveling through Tampa Airport, and definitely no Crocs. Okay, they're both Crocs and PJs are out. Or are they? No, they're not out. You're getting trolled, folks. Some people believe that the PJ post was real. It's not. You're just being trolled. Now, of course, Secretary of Transportation Duffy said, hey, we want people to dress better, be more presentable because there's so much chaos at the airports these days. And let's face it, nobody likes to fly. There's nothing great about flying. Now, if you have to go from point A to point B, there are better ways to do it. You can go in like first class. You can go in business class. It's a hell of a lot better. But do I look forward to a 14-hour flight, a 7-hour flight, or any flight? The answer is no. And I don't care how good the service is or how good the plane is, because the reason I'm on the plane is to get to my destination. That's why I'm doing it. Now, I want to do it in the most comfortable way possible, but anybody who's traveled a lot, like I have, and has done those red eyes to Europe and, long haul stuff to Asia, et cetera, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Superman. Well, maybe you're Superman, you just fly. You don't need a plane. All right, well, I'm getting distracted here. The ADHD is working. No, what it is it's a means to an end. And you want to do it as comfortably as possible, but that's it. So no, you can still wear your PJs. And in fact, if you flew business class or first class in certain airlines, you actually get PJs sometimes that you can put on once you're on the plane. And then on your overnight flight, then you go to sleep in the PJs supplied by the particular airline. So of course you can bring PJs. Just don't look like a slob if you can help it. That's really what people are talking about. So that's one of the funny things that people get all caught up in. How dare they? They can't do that. They blah, 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 blah. And I just go take a deep breath and shut the F up. Literally, just seriously, don't take everything that you see online as fact. But let's take you to a real fact, which is we're at war with Iran right now. And I don't get into the politics of why we're doing the war, or why we're not doing the war, or whatever. I do have my take on it, but that's not appropriate for TravelTube. But I will give you my take on how it's going to impact travel. And people have asked, like, do we need to worry with what's going on there, with the world of travel? And, is it going to affect, some people are like, is it going to affect pricing? Well, yeah, it could affect pricing because fuel is a huge cost and fuel costs are going up. Okay, that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to mention is if you're not going to that region, do you need to worry? And I think the answer is everybody needs to worry about what they call a lone wolf or a Some people are even saying that Iran has allowed, because of our open borders for years, that they have infiltrated our country. There's a lot of bad people that have come in. And we know that because there are known terrorists that have been apprehended trying to cross our border illegally. And those are the ones we know about. And the question is, how many got in that were bad people? And we know there's a lot. We don't know how many of them are trained terrorists or whatever, but hello, 9/11, things can happen, folks. So my suggestion, because if you were paying attention to the news over the weekend, you had the war start with Iran, and that next night in Austin, Texas, a guy wearing an Allah shirt and had a shirt underneath that was about Iran went and killed people in Austin, Texas, who were just out having a good time on a weekend night. And that was pure religious hate coming from that guy, in my opinion, because you've got the Allah sweatshirt, you've got the Iran shirt underneath. I'm not saying he's some organized terrorist. He could just be a nut job who thinks his way to go find 72 virgins is to kill some Americans and then get shot himself. I don't know the motivation. I'm not in law enforcement. It's just things can happen anywhere. And I believe, and I've said this privately for years, I am surprised there has not been a mass casualty attack in this country, because it doesn't take much. I mean, how hard is it to get an illegal gun in this country? Not hard at all. It just takes money. How hard is it to walk into a soft target and do something? And when I say a soft target, it's like a crowded hotel or resort area, a music festival, concerts, etc., whatever it happens to be. I would avoid those as a traveler, especially if I'm traveling overseas. And I would simply have my head on a swivel to make sure that if I'm seeing anything that's just doesn't look right, that I'm doing the Irish exit. I'm just going stage left. I'm out of here. That's what I would tell people to consider. And obviously, there's a big terrorism problem all across Western Europe based on their influx of folks that are not friendly to Western culture. And now this could be the triggering event for them to start rolling out attacks. And in fact, the ones that aren't dead yet in the Iranian regime, or before they got taken out, they were talking about, we're going to unleash hell on, anybody that's associated with anything like this. And they just basically started bombing their neighbors, their Muslim neighbors, the Western countries that have bases in that part of the world, et cetera. So that's what you need to think about. Do I say don't travel? No, I say travel, live your life, because things happen in your hometown every day. Things happen in major cities in this country every day. A weekend in Chicago, more people get killed in shootings in a weekend in Chicago than we've lost as soldiers in the war so far in Iran. And it's terrible to lose people. At the same time, it's not unusual because stuff happens constantly. Just use common sense. I'll leave it at that. Now I want to move on to Vegas. So Vegas travel continues to drop. And the question is, what is causing it? It's such a great mystery. Now, like I mentioned, if you're some journalist that has no clue what's going on in the world, and you're infected with this disease or this mental illness called TDS, meaning whatever's going bad, it's got to be the orange man's problem, or he caused it, then you might hear the word tariffs. The reason Vegas is down is because of tariffs. The reason Vegas is down is because Canadians don't want to travel to the U.S. because orange man bad. Or using common sense, could it have anything to do with Las Vegas has gotten itself priced out of the market? I did a search and I looked at the price to go to Bellagio, 5-star hotel. I looked at 4 nights. I did a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So Sunday and Monday tend to be lower rates. They were 200 and change. One was almost 300. One was like 230. Over the weekend, the average was 500. That didn't include the resort fees. That's $55 for the resort fee. And if you read about the resort fee, it's like, oh, you get wireless internet access in your room. Okay. I'm on vacation. It's a weekend. What do I care? What am I going to watch? I've got a phone. I got a data plan. Like who needs that? Oh, but you get free long distance and local telephone calls with that. I mean, what a great benefit. Oh, doesn't everybody have a watch? I mean, a phone in their pocket, a cell phone. Like who's using the phone inside a hotel these days? Anybody? Are you using it? Do you give a shit if there's free local and toll free and long distance calls? I mean, the cost of communication is basically zero these days because of voice over internet protocols, and there's literally no cost, and nobody needs it because most people have an unlimited calling plan on their phones. So that I don't get. I just don't get it. I don't know if you get it, but maybe you use it. And then they'll say things like, and access to the fitness facility. Isn't that part of the hotel? It's what? You're charging me extra to use the fitness facility at a resort hotel in Vegas. No free waters, no free anything. And ironically, if you want a bottle of water, I don't know the exact price at Bellagio, but $18 to $25 seems to be the going rate if you want a bottle of Smart Water or Fiji water out of your mini bar, or if you want to buy it downstairs in the food court. It is just getting obscene. A coffee can run you $10 to $15. One person, and this is what I would suggest you do, go look up, go to YouTube and type in, is Las Vegas, excuse me, is Las Vegas getting too expensive? And see what people who are going to Vegas are posting about. One woman's talking about the $18 bottle of water. And thank God she didn't jostle it because the mini bars are all sensitive. And as soon as you move that, it thinks you took it, you get charged for it. And the prices are through the freaking roof. They're absolutely insane when it comes to mini bars, in particular in Vegas. Now they're automated, so they don't have the cost of restocking it and going to every room and checking every room every day. Now, they do have a cost to restock it, but when the water costs you $1 or $1.20 and you're selling it for $18 to $25, you can afford, if people are paying that, to pay someone to go restock that $18 bottle of water. But that's just insane. Now, one person posted about the average steak dinner. I've seen this numerous times. If you order a steak with nothing else at a high-end resort in Vegas, like a Bellagio, excuse me, we're talking $85 on average. Oh, you want to add a lobster tail to that? It's a beautiful looking lobster tail. That's another $85. Oh my God, would you like some sides with that? Some vegetables, maybe some mashed potatoes? That's another $15 to $20. That's before you have a drink. Average drink, $20 to $25. You're $500 before you pay the tip. You're over $600 if you give a 20% tip. That's dinner, folks. Plus your $500 weekend room night. Now you're at $1,100. Plus what else? You had to get there, right? Did you fly in? What'd that cost you? $500, $600 for one person? Now, double that. You're looking at $1,200 to $100. If you're staying at the Bellagio and you're eating in their restaurants and you're not doing any excursions, not doing any shows, not doing any of that stuff, you're just getting the basics, but you're eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the resort, you're at $1,200 to $1,500 a day for a couple when you factor in airfare and everything. And when I priced out the Bellagio for 4 nights, it was $2,100. Then you had to add on all the other stuff. So let's take breakfast, lunch, and dinner minimum. Even if you don't do a high end thing, you're going to be at $400 or $500 a day. $400 or $500 a day. So you do the math on that, and you're saying, well, are there other places where I get more bang for my buck? And the answer is yeah. And even the CEO of MGM, I think it was on an earnings call recently, came out and said, yeah, the prices got a little crazy. A little crazy? I don't know what his exact words were, but he said, yeah, the prices just, that's what's hurting us. We're charging too much. So at least they're recognizing that. I'm not seeing many changes, and I'm not seeing any posts. But when you have millions and millions of views of videos, like one video had 3.2 million views, and the guy was talking about how expensive Vegas is. People are watching that, and then they just go, "Yeah, why would I go there?" Now, if you're a hardcore gambler and you want to go to Vegas, great. Then maybe they'll comp you for the food and comp you for the room because you're going to give all your money to the tables. All right, that's fine. But just remember Vegas. Vegas used to be the place you went to if you were a gambler because the rooms were cheap, the food was a great value because they made their money doing what? Gambling. So now what's happened? Now they were like, well, in between, they wanted to become a family travel destination. Family travel, Vegas, folks. I mean, walk down the strip and you got the guys and girls handing out the cards. Basically, prostitutes delivered directly to your room. Basically what they're promoting. It's like girls delivered directly to your room. And you'll see these cards everywhere and they're handing them out. So yeah, that's not the environment I want to bring my kids to. What else though? Oh yeah, the drunken idiots on the strip. Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, that's not a good thing. Am I going to spend that kind of money for my kids? What are they going to do in Vegas? Oh, they go to Cirque du Soleil. Yeah, okay, I get it. That was a great move. Bringing in those shows opened up a whole new group of travelers. That was great. But if you looked at the prices of all the things combined, and now you want to go do shows, do a couple of shows, it's getting insane. And I think that after COVID, spike demand post-COVID, people were, just wanting to go. They've been cooped up for a year, year and a half. Some cases in some blue states, cities, cooped up for 2 years. Kids out doing remote learning for 2 years. Yeah, for the love of, I don't care what it costs. I'm getting the hell out of Dodge. And out they went. And they sustained that for about a year, year and a half. And then you started to see the decline. And now we're seeing it even more so. And when it comes to like people talking about, well, no, Canadians don't want to travel because they don't like Trump. I'm saying to myself, no, they're not doing that. I did a whole episode on this. They're not coming because their currency's down 40% from its peak of 11 years ago against the U.S. dollar. Their economy and their earnings have been stagnant. So their real wages have gone down. They're taxed to Timbuktu. So if you're a Canadian, you are even more motivated to find better value than Vegas. And that's what's killing Vegas. Somebody who likes Vegas, who's Canadian, isn't going to go there because of Trump. No, you're an effing liar. You're full of crap. And you know why I know you're full of crap? Because your own bank and TD Bank and an insurance company in Canada, they both did separate surveys as to why people aren't traveling to the US. And you know what the number one thing? 80% was the economy, economics, dollars and cents. I posted that in an analysis of this dumbass article that was written by one of my former editors. And the pushback I got from Canadians was just hyperbolic, insane. And obviously some of those people can't do math. And they're just so crazy with like, I can't believe he called our governor the 51st, our governor, there you go, it's a little slip. Our prime minister, the 51st, the governor of the 51st state, how offensive that is. I'm like, if that offends you, then you're, obviously you're a little triggered. You might have to get some mental help, just saying. And I'll speak for most Americans. We wouldn't want Canada as a 51st state. We would take Alberta, but Ottawa, British Columbia, yeah, that's a big no thanks. We don't need another California, folks. And you guys are California on steroids. So I wish you the best. I had a company up there, but the people that worked for me, yeah, there's some of the people that, would make the statements I just made about, the TDS stuff. They all have it. Every one of them has it. But they're also journalists, and I've yet to find a journalist that can actually do math outside of somebody like working in the financial reporting area of journalism. But I'll also let you know that I've had journalists work for me that were writing about travel stuff that were making, let's say, $70,000 in salary, that in conversations, I realized that person can't balance a checkbook. But then as they do freelance, I see that they're writing for money.com and bankrate.com and these other sites that are financial sites. And I'm saying to myself, wow. And somebody is like, how to retire at 50. This person 60 is broke, can't balance a checkbook, but is going to tell you how to retire at 50. God help us. My theory is if you're a journalist and you want to call yourself a journalist, you got to know the subject matter just a little bit in order to talk and opine about it. But, who am I? I remember during COVID, everybody said, yeah, you're not a medical doctor. But I was like, yeah, but I can read data. Don't need to be a doctor to read data. Don't have to be a hedge fund manager to understand the macro impact of what's going on in the financial markets. Like, again, the accreditation people, like, you're not accredited to talk about that. I don't give a flying you-know-what. But I do laugh when I see people that are so-called experts because they've got a byline, and I realize, oh my God, I know that person. And that's where I go back when they're like, the problem with Vegas is this. And I'm going, the problem with Canada not traveling here is this. And it's always goes back to Trump. And I'm thinking, well, what are they going to do when Trump's gone in 3 years? Well, who's the next boogeyman? What if there's a Democratic sweep and it's all Democrats in office? Are all these people, if they're broke ass Canadians, are like, yeah, we're coming back to the U.S. We want to spend $1,000 a day to come to Vegas. Now you're too effing cheap. And guess what? I'm as cheap as you because there's no way I would spend $1,000 a day to go to Vegas. And I can afford it. You can't. That's just a fact. Not all of you, but the market that would come to Vegas, both in the U.S. and Canada, Vegas has turned its back on you based on those prices. So I don't blame you for that, but please stop making up boogeymen as your reason. It's financial. It's economic. It is what it is. You have enough? Now let's get into some fun stuff. So I saw this viral video, and it was flagged as a genius idea related to air travel. Okay. I've traveled quite a bit. I talk about travel. I'm talking about travel right now. And I had to dive in because genius? All right, I'm going to let you be the judge after my take. You can decide whether this is a genius hack or not. And interesting enough, Fox News reported on it with the headline that I'm going to read to you. Here's the headline. Family of 6 exposes insanely expensive airport food with pizza order, igniting online backlash. All right. Fox, I love you guys, but at the same time, who's writing these headlines? A family of 6 exposes. You exposed it. 2.2 million people a day go through airports in the United States. The vast majority of people in the United States know that airport food is grossly overpriced and is low quality for the most part. I'm not talking about like a high-end restaurant that's like an anchor restaurant in a terminal, because they basically started to realize that the airport is almost a destination unto itself because of concerns about security lines, et cetera. People will get there earlier than usual, and then they've set it up so that people can go there, maybe even get there an hour before their needed arrival time, and then go have a really nice dinner at like Gallagher's, I think it is, at whatever terminal, one of the United terminals at Newark. I think it's a Gallagher's, the steakhouse. I've done that, and I've eaten a nice steak, gotten on the plane, great. But that's not the typical experience. Typical experience is grossly overpaid, lousy food, especially the stuff you want to buy and take on the plane. So this Oregon mother went viral, and I'll give you her handles because she also is in the travel space. And she went viral, and I'm just going to read this. She's a family of 4, mom of a family of 4, going viral after revealing how she avoided high-priced airport food during a flight delay, which supporters say is genius even as critics slam it as rude and inconsiderate. The woman's name is Ali Vandegraff, and she shares family travel tips on her Instagram account, which is Twin Passport Tales, Tales. So if you want to look her up, Twin Passport Tales. This video she did of this airport hack got 13 million views. Maybe I should have done that. I don't get 13 million views, so good for her. And she posted a video of herself picking up 2 freshly delivered pizzas outside of the Rogue Valley International, but you never heard of Rogue Valley International Medford Airport. I always love these little airports. It's always like they always have international in that. We're the Rogue Valley International Medford Airport. I'll bet you are. Yes, I am. And she said, airport food is just so insanely expensive. That's what she told Fox News Digital. Then her husband had an idea. Expensive food. Whoa. You know, there's this thing like DoorDash, but I've also seen an ad. Domino's delivers, and we have children, and they like pizza. So they ordered on the app, and this woman, Vandegraff, took her 2 kids, according to the story, 2 of her kids, there's 4 total, left their bags back with the husband, I guess with the other 2 kids, and went to fetch the food. All right, she has to go outside security and back through. I got a tip for this lady. Don't bring your freaking kids to get the freaking pizza so you can clog up security going back in, okay? We only need 1 of you to grab the pizza, okay? I don't need 3. 1. So I'm not sure what you were thinking with that, but again, I've never been to your airport. I probably will never be to your airport, but I understand some of those little regional tiny airports. They're so easy in and out, right? So who cares? Come on, let's go out. It's kind of fun. Let's go back through the machines. Maybe I'll stick the kid on the conveyor belt and stick them through the X-ray next time. I don't know. Maybe that was the thought. Maybe they blocked her. But anyway, I digress. So she said they plopped the pizza boxes onto the conveyor belt. They went through without an issue. And she said the TSA guy was like, I'm so jealous. That's so smart. Yeah, because TSA's never seen food come through in any of their, they've seen a lot of food come through. Anyway, as long as it's not liquids, you can bring any kind of food through. It's fine. And she got on the plane because the delay got moved up. So they were going to board the plane before they could eat the pizza. So they came on with their pizza. And the flight attendant, this is her quote. She said the flight attendant was like, quote, I've never seen that before. That is genius, unquote. So my question is, was this flight attendant, like, I don't know, living under a rock? Is this her first day on the job? She's never seen somebody bring food on a plane, like even hot food on a plane? Huh? What? How many years you been flying, lady? You've never seen this? This is genius? Okay. Well, she said that's so smart. Well, it is smart. Because you pay 2 to 3 times the price and have worse quality if you got something at the airport. But I guarantee there's no Domino's pizza at the airport. But whatever, I digress. But then you get to the online stuff, and so that's what the flight attendant said. And some people called it the smartest parenting hack. Again, the smartest parenting hack. That's what some of the comments were. That's like such a smart parenting hack. It's the smartest. But not everybody was as happy because, again, it quickly ignited this big debate online, and some argued that the pizza smell could bother fellow passengers. I mean, come on, man. Like, I got an allergy to the aroma of pizza, and you're going to make it really hard on me because, like, I could go into anaphylactic shock. I could die on the plane. I don't know. That's not what they said, but that's what I'm making up. They said it's the smartest parenting hack, and then someone's like, that smell could bother people. That is such, oh God, I'm not going to say it, but I will. Now I'm going to say it. That is such a wacky, far left, not Democrat, far left whack job comment, because it's always the people that are not affected that are always worried about and trying to help the people that they think are affected. That happens when it comes to, far left white woman who's trying to protect the black guy who happens to be conservative. And they're trying to tell the black guy why the 60-year-old white lady's trying to tell the black guy why he doesn't know what he's talking about because he's never experienced racism. That's the person talking right there when it comes to pizza and the smell. You could bother other people. Shut the F up. Nobody cares. Okay, except you. And you're caring on behalf of other people that were probably like, man, I wish I'd thought of that. Then you have someone talking about how it could be an issue because it's just rude. So one lady says, bringing food on the plane like this is rude as hell. That's the actual quote. Someone said, I would cry if someone ordered a pizza and I had to sit next to them and smell it the whole time. Yeah, I did that for a fact. It was just written, just in case anybody was wondering. Now, another flight attendant, the one who said that was such a smart move. Another one said, well, it's going to smell up the plane, and a lot of those boxes are hard to dispose of on the plane because they take up a lot of space. So do you. And we're not going to dispose of you, but here's what I would say. Airline travel is freaking miserable. If I want to bring on a pizza and it's hard for you to fold the box up and shove it in your garbage can, I don't care. I don't care. You make the airlines, not you, the people working. You've made flying a miserable experience. It's tolerable if it's a short flight and you have some leg room. It's more than tolerable, not enjoyable, if you're flying in business or first class on a long haul flight. It still sucks. And anybody says, oh, I really look forward to it, has not flown very much or has never flown or has never been in business or first class. And they're like, oh my God, I get nuts when I sit down. The plane's still at the gate. I got fresh, warm nuts and I got a soda or I can have a glass of wine until they take it from you because you're pushing back from the gate and you can't have it on your tray. But yeah, but other than that, it just sucks. There's nothing fun about it. Now, if you're a kid looking out the window as you're going over Indiana looking at farms, okay, I get it. You've never been on it. It's going to be fun. Enjoy yourself. But for anybody who's had to travel for business in particular, no thanks. And we don't really care if our pizza box is going to take up a lot of space. But you had to get the Florida etiquette expert in there because, just like I get calls from Fox News to talk about travel stuff as a travel expert, they had to call a Florida etiquette expert. And this person kind of reinforced what the other flight attendant said, which is, quote, a full-size pizza box can become cumbersome and create an unnecessary inconvenience for the crew, unquote. Well, my entire flight was unnecessarily inconvenient and uncomfortable. So I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I once brought a gyro, however you want to say it, on a plane, and it stunk. And you know what? It was the only thing I could get at the gate that I could eat. And yeah, I was like, sorry, and I'm eating it. But some people were positive, and ironically, some people said, like, why are people complaining about the smell of pizza? Like, what? I mean, if I had egg salad, that's gross. Okay, that I get. But pizza? Yeah, people are complaining about the smell of pizza. But Domino's took her side and they weighed in with just plain delicious. Not plain pizza, airplane. Get it? Very, very funny. Well, now I'm going to get serious. And you freaking travel agents that are out there that haven't registered yet on TravelTube.com, shame on you. I spend my free time, don't get paid for it, and I go on TV and promote you. So if you haven't signed up yet, yeah, I'm talking to you. Get off your ass, go to TravelTube.com, and just sign up for the newsletter. We don't sell your email. We send you our newsletter. That's it. Very simple. While you're there, because it helps a great deal, go click on our social media icons and the podcast icons at the top and the bottom of the website, and just click on them. You have to go right to them. Just follow. If you never go back, it still helps us. If you never listen to the podcast, follow the podcast. That's it. That's all I ask. Cost you nothing. And I work hard to promote you on national television through TravelTube.com, which gets thousands of visitors every month. And we get tens of thousands of people looking at our content all across social media, the podcast, et cetera. So how about get off your ass? Support those who support you. And if I could segment the people that understand what we do for them, what I personally do for them, and I could just move those views and that karma and good vibes to them, I would. And the ones who want to be like, like the one agent is like, you shouldn't say this and that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, seriously, dude? Like, what are you talking about? Because not like, hey, Mark, thank you so much for supporting travel agents. I see you're like all over TV and you do all this other stuff and it's been great. You created all these great brands. Thank you so much for 3 decades of supporting travel agents. No, I didn't like what you said on that TV interview. Like, yeah. And I go, oh my God, can't see the forest for the trees. I'd like to kick him right in the, you know what, but I don't, because he's going to benefit and other people are going to benefit from all the stuff we're doing. The rising tide will lift all boats. I just wish I could sink a couple of the ones that just want a one-way street. Is that unreasonable? I don't think so. So sign up at the site. Tired of telling you. And I'm going to scold you again if you don't. All right, that's it. I'm only half joking, okay? And now my dog is trying to get under my legs. So I literally have to get the hell out of here. Otherwise, a black lab is going to attack me. If you want to know who my black lab is, he's underneath right now, and you can see him on our TikTok and some of my other posts. He's the best. Till next time, thanks for watching.